that's wonderful. Now, when you say you're not a film actress, anybody looking at Rebecca would puzzle over just what that meant, because
well,
it's
you can thank Hitchcock for that. Because in the theater, I'm free. If I want to make a grimace, I can do a grimace. If I want to make a swift gesture, I do it. If I want to walk around, I can do it. But in movies, I can't make a grimace. I can only make part of one.
Mm-hmm.
I can't make a swift gesture. I can only make a semi-swift gesture.
Uh-huh.
I can only move within a certain radius.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not free. I wasn't trained for those rules.
Mm-hmm.
I was trained for the freeness of the stage and the movement.
Mm-hmm. Compared to other pictures that you made, how would you compare the atmosphere on the set of Rebecca? You said that it was near perfect, but was working at Selznick International any different than working at another, particularly a larger studio? Or were there differences at all? Was it all just one?
Well, it was all pretty much the same, because I say it's a foreign gesture for me to make.
Mm-hmm.
But I was secure with the Hitchcock Selznick regime,
Mm-hmm.
because I couldn't make any mistakes. I remember one day, for 3 hours, nothing happened because there was a fly on the set. One fly. And all the stage hands were out trying to get this fly. What that fly cost, I don't know. But I hope it knew when it went to its rest. How famous it must have been. But he was a perfectionist.
Mm-hmm.
But I was not aware of that in any other. I've had some unpleasant experiences which I would prefer not to speak about, because that's yesterday, there's no point in talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
But mainly it was a job that I had to learn every time I went before the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And wondering if I remember a time when I was in a picture with Eddie Robinson, and the director, he just rehearsed a scene, and the director said to him, "Eddie, watch your eyebrows." And I said to the director, "What do you mean by that?" I thought he rehearsed it beautifully. He said, "Oh, yes, beautifully, wonderful. But his eyebrows." I said, "What about his eyebrows?" He said, "Well, when you raise your eyebrows, you raise them 1/4 of an inch, but on the screen, you raise them 3 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't act like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to raise my eyebrows wherever I want to. It wasn't me in this case. But it was the greatest lesson that I had, really,
Mm-hmm.
as to how, what a master, what a master with a whip the camera is, and also then there's the sound. If I want to whisper, and the sound man doesn't like it, he wants more sound, he can get more sound. But one is not in control in a movie studio, unless
Mm-hmm.
one is expert and knows exactly what one is doing.
Mm-hmm. A number of actors that I have spoken with said that Hitchcock had tremendous authority, which he did not abuse, and that was one of the reasons that actors liked him. They felt confident.
Yes.
Was that your experience?
Oh, yes, I had complete and total faith in
Mm-hmm.
it, trust in it.
Okay. Do you have any particular recollections of the scene where you show Joan Fontaine Rebecca's things? It's a scene in the bedroom, and then you ask her to listen.
Yes. Hitchcock did that all for me. I remember him walking in her wardrobe and dressing her, undressing her with his eyes.
Uh-huh.
The clothes that were hanging in the wardrobe,
Mm-hmm.
in Rebecca's wardrobe.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you saying that Hitchcock walked through the scene first?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He showed me how to do it.
Uh-huh. Did that offend you in any way as an actress?
No, because I knew I was in the presence of a master.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, I knew I had utter trust and faith in it.
Mm-hmm. Did that also extend to George Barnes, who was the cinematographer on the film?
Well, they were all, I felt, expert. I had no worry and no criticism of anything or anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because the best were there. Everybody in the cast was perfect. Everybody.
Yeah. And of course that comes across in the finished picture.
I think it's a wonderful film.
Yeah. There seems a current of homosexuality between the dead Rebecca and Mrs. Danvers. Was that ever discussed?
No. And I wasn't aware of it then, but I certainly am now, because I knew very little about lesbianism and still do. But I think there was a definite attachment, whether it was real or not. But certainly Mrs. Danvers was passionate about Rebecca. There's no doubt about that. But to what extent, I would have no way of knowing that.
Hitchcock had that famous remark that I think was mostly in jest: actors are cattle, or actors should be treated as cattle, which I'm sure you've heard. How would you compare working with Hitchcock to, say, working with Renoir or to Milestone?
Well, I've worked with both of them, but nobody can touch Hitchcock in my estimation.
Was that because of his thoroughness, his authority, his...
I don't know. Well, you look at the Mona Lisa or the Winged Victory, and you know you're in the presence of greatness. You don't know why. I don't know why or how. Or Da Vinci's The Last Supper, or any of the greats that have lived through centuries. And I'm not a painter and I'm not a sculptor. I don't know why or how, but I know I'm in a great presence.
Could you sense his presence during a take when he was not actually directing, but the camera was turning?
No. Then I gave over to Mrs. Danvers. No.
He was also known for his practical jokes. Did any of those were any of those played on Rebecca?
I don't know. He used to call me Cock. For what reason, I don't know.
C-O-X? Cox?
I don't know how you spell it.
Oh.
But I don't think you can very well print it. But that was his pet name for me.
Well, and he was also known for his caustic wit. Did you ever feel that, or were you aware of that on the set?
No.
Yeah. Many have said that they found him shy also. Did you know him socially, by the way?
To a small degree, yes. I'd known him for years before Rebecca. And slightly. But his wife and child.
Did you know them in England?
No. No, just in New York.
Many said, speaking of his wife, that he looked to her for criticism and support, that he depended greatly upon her judgment. Did you see any indication of that? Was she on the set of Rebecca?
No, not that I remember.
Do you recall if you watched the rushes on Rebecca?
Yes, and they terrified me. Still do.
But you continued to watch them just the same?
Well, to learn, because it was a new... I'd made a few pictures, but none of any great importance, but I knew how important this picture was. And I knew how inferior I was at the art of acting before a camera. But I always hoped to learn.
I can think of a number of reasons that the picture was important, all of them in retrospect, but at the time, was it Selznick's reputation in Gone with the Wind or Hitchcock's first American picture? What was it that made it so important?
Well, it just was.
It, of course, had been a bestseller, and I think there was a lot of curiosity about it, too.
Well, the way, even to the eyebrows, don't pluck your eyebrows. Fix eyebrows, but to that minute extent, that's as far as he went with everything.
Were there other instances of his influence on Rebecca that you recall, Selznick's?
No, I don't recall anything.
There were...
Well, I do recall one thing, which has nothing to do much with him, but I was treated very, very nicely, of course. But there came a time when they called up and said, "Can we?" And I said, "Fit me for what?" Said, a new dress. I said, "I don't need a new dress. My dress is all right." But I said, "What do you want to come down here for?" well, we just want to come and do it. So they came down and fitted me with an asbestos lining. I said, what's that for? It's for the fire scene.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to wear an asbestos lining underneath my dress.
Mm-hmm.
But that, they came down to my home instead of my going to the studio. And I thought it was rather funny. I said, well, what's this? What do I do? I don't have to wear that. I won't be in any danger. But no, you won't be in any danger at all. But this is just a precaution. Mm-hmm. Well, the girl who stood in for me in the fire did have a fire cinder in her eye. And I was very glad when it was finished.